Hey.
Hey everyone.
Hello, hello. It's Tara Sage, and Carl. And we are so glad to be connecting with you today. We're just grounding and taking a breath. We've got so much to share with you here today. So as folks are joining us, welcome.
Welcome.
Yep. This is video 5 of our 6-video series. Again, my name is Tara Sage of tarasagecoaching.com, devoted to helping you live your dreams and create a life and business that you don't need a vacation from. And Carl and I live full-time on the road and work from the road and do some salsa dancing along the way, something we love to do. And we travel with our dog Cosmo. And what else do we want to say about that? That's our life in a nutshell. Today we're here in front of a fireplace, which, no, we're not in our RV today. We are generously in the home of a friend of ours who has opened up their home to us, and we're happy to be here. We are in Tennessee, and more on why we're in Tennessee to be shared. There's so much to share about that. But for now, we're going to hold off on that. And we're here today to talk to you about relationships and teamwork.
Yes.
Such an important topic, no matter what you're doing, but especially for nomadic life and living on the road. So what do we want to start with? We've got some questions. We've received some really interesting questions from you, and we've written them down here. And we're going to take them on and one at a time. So we've got 3 questions that we're going to speak to. The first one is, and I'll read it, how are you surviving the daily close togetherness and annoying little habits? So, Carl, you want to get us started on that?
We get questions like this a lot.
Yes.
I want to start out by saying if you're trying to tackle anything with someone and you feel like you're surviving, you probably shouldn't be doing that with that person. Instead, I would like to say that Tara and I are more thriving than surviving. I think a lot of that has to do with both of us and how we are with each other. But it also has to do with how we are with our space and our energy.
Yeah.
So we're not starving. We're not hanging on by our teeth or riding by the seat of our pants. We're pretty well situated in what we're doing.
Yeah. I think that's a really great tip. I mean, if you feel like you're surviving with the person or people that you live with, that's worth looking at, because we don't feel like we're surviving. I wouldn't sign up for surviving together, like struggling through our cohabitation.
Right.
I would say we really are thriving, and if we're not, we look at that and see what we can do to thrive in greater ways together. So it's an ongoing process, as is any relationship. So what about annoying little habits?
Tara has this cute little habit. I wouldn't call it a habit, but basically whenever she's writing or really focusing on something and she gets like an idea, or or the gears are turning, she tends to lift her head and do one of these and just look at me. And I'm on my laptop and I lift my eyes because my peripheral vision, I see these eyes just like glaring at me, and I look at her and I'm like, what's going on? And she's actually not even seeing me, but she likes to look in my direction, I guess, when the gears are turning.
I'm thinking.
And for the longest time, whenever she'd do this, it would take me out of my work, because I'd look back at her and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? And it turns out everything is okay. And this is something that doesn't distract me as much as it used to, because I've become accustomed to it. And I know this is one of her...
it's my process.
Part of her creativity.
Yes.
But it took a while to get used to.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where I didn't want to be, because when we're inside the RV, we're facing each other when we're working.
Yeah.
And it almost made me want to turn around or sit outside or something.
Yeah.
But it's...
Well, now you know an annoying little habit of mine. So for those who are joining, share with us, if you would, like, what's an annoying habit that you know you have or that your partner has, if you want to out them. But we're going to talk about that word annoying in a moment. But first, let me out Carl. Welcome to those who are joining. Hey. Sherry, Valerie, love seeing you. Carl does this thing when he is enjoying a beverage where he kind of swishes it around in his mouth, like mouthwash, sort of. And that's a thing that he does. So here's what I want to say about annoying. Rather than telling myself that that's an annoying habit, and I think this is a tip for relationships, honestly, is that's a story in my own mind. If I'm telling myself, like, that's such an annoying habit, I'm saying that to myself. And there's an alternative story that I choose to tell, and it's part of his charm. So every time he does this mouthwash thing with a drink, I tell myself it's part of his charm. And so I invite you to consider for yourself and the people that you love in your life, what do they do that you can tell yourself a new story about instead of it's annoying? Because ultimately, if he was gone for a long time or he was no longer with me for some reason, I would miss the swishing of the mouthwash. Like, these are the things that we miss when people are gone. So it's part of his charm. That's what I invite you to tell yourself about the stories of the things that you find annoying in those that you love. So there we go.
And for those of you, if we got your memory spurred, what kind of things can you share that you know about yourself that you've learned that other people find annoying, or things that you've seen that annoy you?
Yeah.
Just for fun. Just
for fun, share with us what makes you annoying. Another question that we get a lot of, and this is a quote of one of the questions we've been asked. Do you miss seeing friends and family and the familiarities of the anchored life?
Can I start with that?
Yeah.
For me personally, do I miss seeing friends and family? I would say yes. And the reason I say that being mindful of the fact that wherever I am, even if it was in a more rooted lifestyle, I'd always be missing someone. No matter where I am, there's always someone I'm not with, friends and family. Right. And so yes, I'm still always missing friends and family. We have the opportunity now to be mobile, to see more friends and family than we otherwise would have been able to see them more often, and also they can still travel to visit us.
Yeah. I really echo that. Wherever I am, I feel blessed to have friends and family around the world. My family is scattered across the country, some even overseas, and friends as well. Internationally, we have friends. So there are always people that we're missing because we don't have a small community that all lived in one place. That just hasn't been my experience. I've always identified as a citizen of the world, studied abroad, and things like that. So I have friends and family all over the world. And I think that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Yeah. So let's talk about this word anchored. In the question that was asked to us, to repeat it again, do you miss seeing friends and family and the familiarities of the anchored life?
Use of the word anchored, I think I know what was implied by using that word, but to me the word anchored sounds restrictive.
I would say so.
We anchor things to keep them from moving. And I can tell you right now, I would not miss that feeling.
Who misses feeling tied down? Like, an anchor to me is tied down. Again, I think you're right. The intention behind the question was not to ask us if we miss feeling tied down, but more the familiarity piece.
And the variety that we have now, even the weird, quirky stuff that can happen at a moment's notice. I personally would not trade it back for.
Right. So short answer, no? No, I don't miss that?
No, I don't miss that.
Totally don't miss
Not
that. No, I want to also make a distinction between a foreign experience and a new experience. I welcome foreign experiences and have had plenty of them and would like more. I'd like to travel more to international places where I literally am having a foreign experience. But I'll say that what we're doing here really isn't that radical in the sense that we are not in a foreign land at the moment. We are having a lot of new experiences, but we can read the street signs. You know, we're driving on the side of the road we're comfortable with. We know the culture. And like, we haven't been to the Grand Canyon yet. That's a plan. But it will be a new experience for us, but it won't necessarily be a foreign experience for us. The other thing is the beauty of the GPS. Like, this technology has made travel so easy. There's no more getting lost or, having trouble finding somewhere or asking directions every 10 minutes from a stranger or trying to read a map, right, while you're driving. No, it's like, Siri, take me to the grocery store. And which grocery store would you like, Tara? It's super easy. So there's so much that's familiar, but also new. Yeah. And so we get a lot of variety, but things are quite comfortable as well in that way. Yeah. So that's that. Anything you want to add to that before we go to that next question?
We still are able to get lost. I want to make sure that's clear. We've gotten lost. With and without the GPS, and that's, that can be kind of sweet too. So
detour, that's all.
Yeah.
Lost is relative. Okay, so the next question we're going to take on here is, we've been asked, how do you have meaningful connections with people you meet along the way when inevitably the relationship will be primarily virtual and perhaps fleeting? Good question.
Yeah. I have to say that I had similar concerns when we first began traveling on the road, mainly because I think this is because I've had my group of friends for so long that I really didn't feel any need to expand my my friends and family realm within the space that I was living. Mm-hmm. And I was concerned because, we're going to be going places for maybe a week or two at a time. Not really much time to connect. So what's the point of trying to connect if that's the case? But what had happened was I forgot how little time is needed to establish a connection with others. Not even a day or two. It can only be a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And we've done that, and from that point, it's really just a choice of whether or not to maintain that connection.
That's an awesome point, honey.
Yeah. We've met so many great and interesting people and made so many friends through the simplest and most awkward of circumstances sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to lose track of these connections we've made, and I know we're going to keep making them. And it's really added some warmth on the road where initially I thought there might not be some. So
yeah, I think it's a great point that it doesn't take long to make a connection. And then it's about whether you want to nurture and continue that connection. Right. But ultimately, it doesn't take much to connect with people. I, for one, am very comfortable with talking to strangers all the time. I've always kind of made a habit of that. So that didn't seem very radical of an idea for me. I also want to say that short connections aren't necessarily inauthentic connections. It's all about how you show up in the world. So who you are is who you are with whoever you're with. So we've had very meaningful short connections with people that have been very authentic. And someone comes to mind that we met recently. We connected with them for one night. They were in a campsite next to us. And it ended with hugs, like really warm, delicious hugs from people we had met the day before. And they have since offered us their home, to open up their home to us in Canada, which we're planning to loop up there and spend some time with them. So in one night, we made friends. So I would say to those who are thinking that we can't have meaningful connections along the way and on the road, I would challenge you on that, for sure. And there's so many possibilities there. So we're going to talk next about relationships on the road in a little bit more general terms. In preparing for this topic, we were kind of brainstorming together and realized there are really 4 categories of those relationships. So to kind of summarize that, the first one is obviously our relationship with each other. And another is the relationship with established friends and family, from home, wherever home is for them. And also those new connections being the third category of relationships on the road. And last but not least is the relationship with self, which is uber important wherever you are. So we're going to speak to each of those briefly. And we'll start with our relationship with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are really good at reversing.
That's such a funny thing to start with.
And the reason I mention this, I'll try to be brief. Some people say a true test to a relationship is how well you can pitch a tent together.
Okay.
We can say through our experience and through what we've seen and experienced doing, backing up your RV is a true test in communication, coordination, allowing space and understanding your partner.
Yeah, there's a lot of communication and teamwork involved in that.
What it took for us to get where we are right now was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, and I want to say that we kicked ass.
We did kick ass.
Because walking back up to the street and looking at how steep the hill is, the slope of the driveway, the drop off, and where we had to turn around.
It was truly frightening.
And we did it at night in the dark,
and had to do a turnaround at a dead end. It was terrifying in moments.
It was awesome.
So you can learn a lot about a couple by how they handle the
certain situations
backing
like
in circumstance. It's just one example of so many. But we've witnessed some really intense exchanges between couples who are backing in. One, they actually hit a wall because she was directing him from the front while he was going in reverse. Another, we saw them screaming at each other, and it was just awful to watch. So there's so much communication and teamwork needed. And in terms of going in reverse, when one person can't see and is guiding, being guided, clear communication, patience, and safety are all really important pieces of that. So we're going to be breaking all of this down. We're obviously just using the reversing thing as one example to, use as a metaphor, really. But in our course, Nomadic Living 101, which you can learn more about at nomadicliving101.com, we're going to go really in depth into all of the logistical pieces of planning this journey and being on the journey and living in a small space together, and how to really take care of yourself on that journey, how to prepare meals, and all of the pieces that are involved in it. So we'll be going much more in depth on that than we have time to do with you today, but just wanted to share that one piece, that sometimes safety and that precaution is really, really important when it comes to backing up. So you don't go over a cliff or hit a wall, right? We don't want you to do that. Truly, that would put a real kink in the fun
Yes.
of the journey. So the other one is established friends and family, which we spoke to a little bit about, what I love about this journey, given that we have friends and family all over the country, is we can go and see them. And they can also come and see us. So we know, we have a general sense of where we're going to be when.
And for how long?
Yeah, and people can get on planes and trains and drive and come and be where we are, whether they pitch a tent or stay in an Airbnb nearby. There's lots of ways that we can visit with people. So there's so many possibilities. So if you're considering taking this nomadic journey yourself, know that there are so many options, and think outside the box about how you can stay connected to friends and family. Okay? New connections. Short doesn't mean inauthentic. And if I could just rant for a moment
Sure.
about my personal needs when it comes to friendship. To me, my true friends are those that time and space really doesn't matter, in the sense that there are friends that I might not talk to for months even, that then we talk to each other and we just pick up where we left off. And those are my people. To me, I feel like true friendship shouldn't need to be constant in contact, but rather, loving each other and blessing each other and wishing the best for each other and knowing the other one is there if you need them, and catching up at a schedule that feels good to you. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. So short doesn't mean inauthentic when it comes to new connections. And we've made some really beautiful connections, and we're really looking forward to traveling and visiting those folks.
And actually, we've already run into some people we
that was so crazy.
had previously met, just randomly. And it's always nice to see a familiar face.
Yeah, big hugs in a park.
Yes.
It's just like, what are you doing here? So really uncanny. So last but not least, we want to talk about the relationship with yourself. And this will lead into my tip from Tara for today. But wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. So if you have the impression that travel is going to transform you in terms of who you are, it's not going to do that, because you bring to it who you are. Now, new environments can elicit new parts of you being expressed, and there's so much beauty in that. And then you learn more about who you are. I'm a huge advocate for travel as an avenue for personal growth. But ultimately, your relationship with yourself is wherever you go, there you are. And you won't escape yourself by travel, right?
Yeah.
In terms of on the road, it's so important to be self-responsible. And it's true not on the road, too, to take care of yourself. Carl, I don't count on you. I don't say to you, you need to make me happy. That's my job. And my job is to find my own, what I call right space within myself. Right. And if I'm feeling off, or if I'm feeling agitated, I need to do something to find my right space again.
And I would need to do the same as well.
Right. We're sensitive to each other, and we try to help, but ultimately it's about our relationship with ourself first, and self-care. Yeah? So what do you know you need in terms of self-care, whether on or off the road? And wherever you go, there you are. So get used to that, because
Can't get away from it.
You can't get away from yourself. All right. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. And we want to, again, invite you to, if you're curious about this lifestyle, really consider joining us for our upcoming program called Nomadic Living 101, and it's nomadicliving101.com. That will take you right to that page and give you all the information about all the modules. And we say teamwork makes the dream work, because when you have the resource of people who've done what you're attempting to do or wanting to do, you speed up the process. and you avoid mistakes that could cost you time and money and all kinds of things. So we would love and be so honored to be on your dream team when it comes to helping you make this lifestyle real. And we know there's a lot of curiosity and a lot of restless souls out there who want to experience something like this. So check it out, join us, let us know if you have any questions that we can answer about the program, but you are so welcomed, and we want to welcome you in with open arms. So nomadicliving101.com for all the details on that.
Yeah. And we'll be sharing all types of things ranging from logistical planning, safety, mechanics,
Master.
to even decorating the space, little tips and tricks to help save space, just to make your home, your mobile home, feel more like home.
Home.
Yeah.
Home. Absolutely. I love coming home. I really do. So here's my tip from Tara for you today. Every relationship that you have is built on the foundation of your relationship with yourself, ultimately. So, using the metaphor of a car, I would say fill your tank first. Fill your tank first. You wouldn't ask a car to run on empty, so don't ask yourself to do something you wouldn't ask of an inanimate object like a car. Fill your own tank first. The other thing I want to say is, I trust, is just a reminder, which is that you can't give what you don't have. Seems pretty obvious, right? You can't give what you don't have. So if you are feeling like your tank is empty, it's very difficult to give to others. We can only give from a sense of surplus. So I would invite you today to check in with yourself and ask, am I full? Do I feel full? Or do I feel like I have kind of a half tank of gas in my tank? Or am I running on empty? And be honest with yourself. Honesty can only serve you there. And if you are full, yay, and by all means share the surplus. That's the most beautiful and supportive space to be in, an attractive space to be in, is to share from a full tank. If you're half full, or if you're running on empty, do something today to nurture yourself. So that's really it. It's as simple as that. What's one thing that I could do to feel nourished and nurtured right now? What can I do right now? Ask yourself that question and then go do that and fill your tank. So you come to the relationships in your life full. So you come to the relationships in your life able to serve and able to do so generously and delighted to do it. If you have what you need, that's a great place to be giving from. So that's my tip from Tara for today.
That's a great tip.
Thanks. Are you feeling full?
I'm feeling full.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Awesome.
Very full.
Awesome. So thanks for joining us today for our relationship and teamwork video number 5 of our 6 video series. If you have missed our previous videos, please check them out. Thanks for the thumbs up and the love, and so glad to be connecting with you in this way. So happy trails. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.